for. Things like sacrifice their social standing, or steal for, or even fight for. "I wasn't here," Zach replied, finally answering Matt's question. "But it looks to me like somebody did this on purpose, like they thought they could get away with it." "You think someone, what, smashed the library, ripped down a 10,000-volt power line with their bare hands, and then melted a 4-foot hole in the street as a prank?" Matt asked evenly. He narrowed his eyes and gave Zach a small, closed-lipped smile. "I don't know," Zach finally answered. Then a thought occurred to him. "But maybe you do. You've been hanging out with Ariadne a lot lately." "Yeah, and?" Matt said calmly. "I don't see your point." Did Matt know? Had the Delos kids told him what was going on while they left Zach out of it? Zach studied Matt for a moment and decided he was probably just sticking up for the Delos family like everyone else did whenever Zach mentioned how odd they were. "Who says I have to have a point? I'm just saying that I've never seen a downed power line do that before. Have you? So the police, water and power, all the people that are trained to deal with natural disasters, they're wrong and you're right?" The way Matt put it made Zach feel a little silly. He couldn't come right out and say that a family of supermen was trying to take over his island. That would sound crazy. Feigning disinterest, Zach looked out across the street to the demolished steps of the Athenaeum and shrugged. That's when he noticed someone special, like Helen, like those frigging Delos kids, only this guy was different. There was something inhuman about him. When this guy moved, he sort of looked like an insect. "Whatever. I don't really care what happened," Zach said, acting like he was bored. "Have fun staring down that hole." He walked away, not wanting to waste any more time on someone so obviously on the Delos' side. He wanted to see where that freak was going, and maybe figure out what they were all hiding from him. He followed the stranger down to the docks and spotted a beautiful yacht. It was something right out of a storybook. Tall masts, teak deck, fiberglass hull, and red sails. Zach walked toward it with his mouth open. The yacht was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen, except for one face. Her face. Zach felt someone tap him on the back of his shoulder, and as he turned around, the world went dark. 1. Red blood bloomed from underneath Helen's torn fingernails, pooled in the crescents of her cuticles, and trailed down her knuckles in little rivers. Despite the pain, she gripped the ledge more tightly with her left hand so she could try to slide her right hand forward. There was grit and blood under her fingers, making her slip, and her hands were cramping so badly that the center of her palm was starting to spasm. She reached with her right, but didn't have the strength to pull herself any farther forward. Helen slid back with a gasp until she was dangling from her rigid fingertips. 6 stories beneath her kicking feet was a dead flower bed littered with moldy bricks and slates that had slid off the roof of the dilapidated mansion and broken into bits. She didn't have to look down to know that the same would happen to her if she lost her grasp on the crumbling window ledge. She tried again to swing a leg up and catch it on the windowsill, but the more she kicked, the less secure her grip became. A sob escaped from between her bitten lips. She had been hanging from this ledge since she descended into the underworld that night. It felt to her like hours, maybe days had passed, and her endurance was flagging. Helen cried out in frustration. She had to get off this ledge and go find the Furies. She was the descender. This was her task. Find the Furies in the underworld, defeat them somehow, and free the Scions from the Furies' influence. She was supposed to be ending the cycle of vengeance that compelled Scions to kill each other off. But instead, here she was, hanging.